Yeah. Engine off. Mine's still running. Parking lot after midnight.
Parking lot after running, parking lot after midnight. Mall lights flicker, almost dead. Empty spaces like the pages I ain't filled with what I said. Purple haze above the rooftop, city distant humming low. Lo-fi drums and soft rotation keep my breathing in low. I've been living at the surface where I'm good as all I share, cracking jokes in every group so no one asks what's under there. Now it's only me and leather, only moon on tinted glass. Just this gravel color monologue I always let bypass. Hoodie bunched up like a pillow, brim pulled low to hide my eyes. Tattoo veins around my knuckles like subtitles of my lies. Asphalt quiet in the cup holder, gray snow and plastic hills. Every fleck of conversation that I dodge with cheaper thrills. And this empty lot feels sacred in a low budget kind of way, like a chapel made of concrete where my chest can finally say all the stuff I keep in draft so I don't scare the ones I love. All the yo, I almost lost it that I never speak. Parking lot after midnight, 420 in my lungs, one low voice on hazy loops turning silence into tongues. Blues guitar and gentle light, fear step out of sight and my words shake when I say I'm not okay. That's midnight, light night. I don't need a pulpit pastor or a spotlight to feel right. No, just a half-lit piece of concrete for this parking lot midnight. No, yeah. I remember younger versions posted up in spots like this. Backseat full of fake bravado, talking big about who I'd kiss. Never once said I'm depressed, just said I'm tired, I'm out of it. Turn, I think I need some help until I'm bored, let's dip, that's it. Now the only crowd is ghosts of who I thought that I should be. All the copies of my image that forgot there's also me. The one who wakes up feeling heavy with no reason he can name. The one who's scared if he stops smiling they won't look at him the same. When I whisper I feel lonely even when the room is full. Let it trip behind the snare like a card that hit a tool. If I had, I know it's stupid. I got people, I got crew. That's the voice that keeps on gaslighting what my gut already knew. But these roads don't roll their eyes, they just line up holding space. And the lamppost doesn't judge me when a tear runs off my face. It just halo around my damage like it's saying I still see you. Don't vanish cause you fragile, you don't lose your parking lot after midnight, 420 in my lungs, one low voice on hazy loops turning silence into tongues. Blues guitar and gentle light, fear step out of sight and my words shake when I say I'm not okay. That's midnight, light night. I don't need a pulpit pastor or a spotlight to feel right. Yeah. Just a half-lit piece of concrete for this parking lot midnight. Yeah. Maybe faith is just a choice to show up as you really are. Not the hashtag or aesthetic, just a mess inside the car. Maybe hope is sitting still when every instinct says escape. Letting sadness have a verse before you cut and change the tape. So I talk out loud to no one like I'm on a shaky live. Here's the nights I almost ended, here's the stuff that kept me tied. Here's the songs that built a bridge when I was standing on the edge. Here's the text I never sent that might have pulled me from that ledge. If I deserve a second, third and fourth chance at this life, drops a bar behind the tempo like it stumbled on a knife. That's my heart relearning grammar where existing ain't a crime. Where I made it to this evening is enough to count a shine. By the time the roaches filter and the mall lights finally cut, I've been driving through confession without ever leaving shut. Heard my chest admit I'm tired, heard my pride admit I'm wrong. Heard the part of me that's quiet say I've been small for way too long. I can't promise I'll be open when the sun is bright and loud, but I know there's a small parking lot where I can drop the crowd. When I murmur I'll come back here when the noise gets way too much. Let it float along the baseline like a friend request for touch. If my breath feel less like choking and more steady, more in sight, that's the proof I left some way here in this parking lot. Parking lot after midnight. midnight. 420 in my lungs, one low voice on hazy loops, turning silence into tongues. Blues guitar and gentle light. Fear step out of sight. If my words shake when I say I'll choose me too, that's midnight, night, night. I don't need a pulpit pastor or a spotlight to feel right. Just a half-lit piece of concrete for this parking lot midnight. Turn the key, the dash wakes up where resumes his daily script. But that low and raspy monologue stay underneath each quip. If they ask me when I started taking my own pain as right, I was way talking to my sim in a parking lot can't take. In a parking lot can't take.
Yeah. No GPS for this one. Echo lane late night, empty silence, silver rose. Every reflector like reply to all the thoughts nobody knows. Purple glowing tinted glass, city humming far behind. Lo-fi kicks and lazy rhythm, let me sort out what's inside. I've been living in a timeline made of stories that ain't mine. Trying to meet 100 standards, missing every honest sign. Now it's only me and asphalt, only moon and little breeze. Just as gravel in my tone, confessing what I never ease. Hoodie collar to my job, brim polo to hide my stare. Tattoo veins around the wheel, trace the weight I used to bear. Ash flowed out the half-cracked window, disappearing violet fog. Every flake of bro, I'm straight, that really meant I'm in the bog. And this late night drive, 420 slow, chill, rap type mix it soft. Deep bass humming like it's telling me it's safe enough to cough. Cough up all the unsaid sentences I swallow, not to scare all the I don't got it fam that I kept locking under there. Echo lane, late night, 420 in my chest. One low voice, I'm blues it loose, putting from ass to the test. Road course drowned in urban rain, fears fall off the chain. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's echo lane. I don't need a perfect angle or a West Coast flex to gain. Just a smoky, slow horizon on this echo lane, yeah. I remember cheap apartments where the sirens were the score. Counted sleeps by how many times a neighbor slammed the door. Told myself when I got views, all this noise would turn to peace. Didn't know success got echoes and my brain don't get released. Now the notifications buzzing like some faulty neon sign. Everybody want a piece but never ask if I'm aligned. So I let the service drop out as I climb this quiet hill. Just me, hazy tunes type playlist and a heart that won't sit still. When I whisper I feel jealous of the ones who feel at ease. Let it stumble off the hi-hat like a tire in oily grease. If I had a rush, it's dumb, I know I'm blessed, I shouldn't trip. That's the guilt that keeps on adding every truth my lips equip. But the road don't send reminders, it just hold me in these beams. And the skyline doesn't fact check how irrational it seems. So I let the feeling land here without fix or fast explain. Let the chorus be the only thing that tries to hold my brain. Echo lane, late night, 420 in my chest. One little voice on blues and loose, putting from ass to the test. Rose course drowned in urban rain, fears fall off the chain. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's echo lane. I don't need a perfect angle or a West Coast flex to gain. Just a smoky, slow horizon on this echo lane. Hey, maybe peace ain't in the mileage, it's in where you let it hurt. In the moment you say yeah, that stung instead of I divert. Maybe healing is a back road that you ride with windows cracked. Let the cold air lift the sorrow you have taped across your back. So I name the bits I'm carrying like I'm reading license plates. Here's my fear of being average, here's my rage at all these rates. Here's the shame I feel for resting, here's the grief for who I've lost. Lay them gently on the dashboard, let the smoke absorb the cost. If I don't gotta be inspiring to be worth another dawn. Drops a half step off the rhythm like the beat line almost gone. That's my value, finding tempo, not from hustle or from pain, but from being just a human rolling down this echo lane. By the time the joint is ember and the fuel gauge near the line, I've been driving through my memory like a playlist out of time. Seen the nights I almost quit it. Seen the days I forced to grin. Seen the patterns I keep choosing when I'm scared to let folks in. I can't change those episodes, but I can choose the next few scenes. Give myself a softer edit, cut some self-hate from between. When I murmur, I'll be gentle. When my chest starts shouting loud, let it float along the bass like fog along a purple cloud. If my shoulders drop a little as the city comes again, that's the weight I left suspended somewhere back on Echo Lane. Echo Lane, late night, 420 in my chest. One low voice on blues is loose, put in from mass to the test. Discourse drowning in urban rain, it fall off the chain. If my words shake when I say I'll choose me to this Echo Lane. I don't need a perfect angle or a West Coast flex to gain, just a smoky slow horizon on this Echo Lane, yeah. Merge back into human traffic where they chase a different race. But that low and raspy mantra right beneath my poker face. If they ask me when I learn, my soul don't gotta entertain. I'll say one slow 40-20 drive, taking laps on Echo Lane, taking laps on Echo Lane.
Tune back in the Slow Kush Radio. Broadcasting live from the driver's seat of whatever you survive. Slow Kush Radio in my head, no commercials, just my fears. Every thought a smoky bumper calling back from older years. Purple city in the distance, swimming soft in balcony light. Lo-fi drums like heartbeat echoes underneath this easy night. I've been living in surround sound made of everybody's needs. Playing therapist and DJ while my own track never bleeds. Now it's only me and engine, only hum of worn out tires. Just this gravel sounded host, reading mail from burnt out choirs. Hoodie drape around my shoulders, brim pulled down to shade my eyes. Tattoo lines across the wheel like the radio of my life. Ass drop gentle in a tray like loose static from the show. Every flake of yeah, I'll manage that, I never should've spoke. And the script from Slow Kush Radio say drift deeper in the haze. Thoughts that wander without direction, yeah, that's me on longer days. Driving circles round the question, who gon' hold you when you shake? While the bass say you can answer that yourself for once it's safe. Slow Kush Radio in my head, 420 in my lungs. One low voice on blues is loops, turning burnout into tongues. Roads and guitar, smoky bed, doubts and lower tread. If my words shake when I say I'm overwhelmed, that's what I said. I don't need a polished segment or a guest to break the dread. Just a night drive frequency called Slow Kush in my head. I remember every arrow where the motto was don't trip. Any tear felt like betrayal to the crew I tried to grip. So I swallowed whole tsunamis, called it wave control instead. Never noticing my ribcage was the levee's only thread. Now the chill rap for late night drives, description hit too true. Late night vibes, weed smoking, smoke session, yeah that's you. But they don't list quiet crying or replay of every loss. So I add that to the tagline while these lane lines crisscross. When I whisper I feel guilty when I can't pick up for all. Let it stumble off the snare like voicemail cut mid-fall. If I had they be fine without me, I'm dramatic, I'm a lot. That's the part that fears I'm only loved for what I've always got. But this radio inside me doesn't cut to cheerful tracks, doesn't drown out my admission, doesn't spin it into facts. It just let the needle wobble on this dusty inward song. Play the skips and all the crackle like they always did belong. Slow Kush Radio in my head, 420 in my lungs. One low voice on blues is loops, turning burnout into tongues. Roads and guitar, smoky bed, doubts and lower tread. If my words shake when I say I'm overwhelmed, that's what I said. I don't need a polished segment or a guest to break the dread. Just a night drive frequency called Slow Kush in my head. Maybe self-care is a program that you never used to air, cause you thought no one would listen if you weren't just there to care. Maybe boundaries are the station break where you finally say I'm off.
Lines are closed for maintenance, I'm not taking every call. So I drop a little bumper, this next hour's just for me. Slow cushion of service, we'll be right back after I breathe. Let the silence fill the cabin like some unreleased B-side. Let my body get a feature on a song I used to hide. If I'm worth time when I'm not useful, hands off beat against the kick. That's my worth relearning rhythm that ain't powered by Be Quick. If a tear runs down my chin and hits the logo on my tee, that's a listener of the station finally hearing host is me. By the time the joint is cinder and the playlist loops again, I've been broadcasting confessions that was static in my pen. Talked about the nights I broke, about the days I played it cool, about the times I was the only one who knew I'd almost lose. I can't promise next week's episodes won't get crowded, won't get loud, but I know this in a channel ain't just made to serve the crowd. It'll spin my softer records when I'm tempted to play hard. It'll keep one slot reserved for all the feelings I discard. When I murmur, I'll keep tuning in when life gets loud outside. Let it float along the bass like headlights on a last ride. If my chest feels slightly lighter as the skyline nears ahead, that's the slow kush nightly hour turning static into thread. Slow kush radio in my head, 420 in my lungs, one low voice on bluesy loops, turning burnout into tongues. Rose and guitar, smoky bed, doubts and lower tread. If my words shake when I say I'm overwhelmed, that's what I said. I don't need a polished segment or a guest to break the dread. Just a night drive frequency called slow kush in my head. Fade us out past all the noise where city headlines shout instead. But that low and rough announcer still keeps speaking in my stead. If they ask me, will I learn my own skation, man, just dead. Just low kush radio in my head. Just low kush radio in my head. Same road, different honesty tonight. Highway shoulders, heavy heart, purple bruise along the sky. Every taillight in the distance like a promise passing by. City sinking in the rearview, mountains hold the edges tight. Lo-fi drums and lazy circles keep my chest from taking flight. I've been answering, I'm chilling like it's written in my teeth. Smiling through a raw tsunami, breaking quiet underneath. Now it's only me and leather, just as joint and crooked wheel. Just as gravel in my vocals, saying what I really feel. Hoodie hood around my jawline, brim below to dim my eyes. Tattoo veins along the wheel, trace a map of all my lies. Ash float out the cracked up window, disappear in midnight air. Every flake of yeah, I'm good, that I said when I was bare. And the farther that I drive, the more the noise turns into hum. All the timelines and opinions blur to one slow distant drum. I can finally hear a question I keep drowning out with art. Who's been holding you together while you hold the broken parts? Highway shoulders, heavy heart, 420 in my chest. One low voice on smoky loops, putting frontman to the tech. Blue guitar, soft restart, fear pull clean apart. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's heavy heart. I don't need a painted ending or a quote to play it smart. Just a lonely stretch of asphalt and these highway shoulders hard. I remember younger seasons, I was call me if you break. Turn my phone into a lifeline, turn my sleep into the stake. Sat in parking lots till sunrise, talking strangers off the ledge. Then drove home with hands still shaking, no one checking on my edge. Now the strong one in the mirror got some cracks across his face. All the jokes I used for armor left a rust around the base. I can hear that tired echo in my chest like I'm not still. I'm a human with some stories that I never let be real. When I whisper I feel used, but I signed up half the time. Let it stumble off the hi-hat like a rhyme that missed the rhyme. If I had a crooked chuckle, guess it's kinda on me too. That's the guilt that keeps me twisting every hurt to prove it's due. But the guardrail doesn't argue, it just rides along my side. And the dash don't flash a warning when my truth won't match my pride. So I let the words land ugly, let them clutter up the cab. Let the silence be the witness while I peel back every scab. Highway shoulders, heavy heart, 420 in my chest. One low voice on smoky loops, putting from into the test. Blues guitar and soft restart, fear pull clean apart. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, this heavy heart. I don't need a painted ending or a quote to play it smart. Just a lonely stretch of asphalt and these highway shoulders, Lord. Maybe love is not a paycheck that you earn by staying tough, not a scoreboard of disasters where you never say enough. Maybe no is not betrayal, maybe yes can be abuse when you hand it out on empty just to keep the same old truth. So I write a different contract on this fogged up bit of glass. From tonight you don't say always when your strength ain't gonna last. You can say I can't right now, bro, you can say I need a hand. You can let the ones who swear they love you meet you where you stand. If I matter when I'm fragile, lands are beat against the kick. That's my nervous system flinching at a truth it never picked. If a tear hits on the leather, blur the emblem on the wheel. That's the ink on new agreement that my hurt deserves to heal. By the time the road is tiny and the gauge leans close to E, I've been driving through the chapters I don't show on any feet. Seen the nights I kept on giving when my body begged to stop. Seen the times I played the hero, then went home and let me drop. I can't bill them for the decades, can't reclaim what's overdue, but I can't protect the seasons that I still got left to do. When I murmur I will choose me, even if they call it weak. Let it glide along the baseline like a vow I barely speak. If my chest feels slightly lighter as the city lights restart, that's the weight I left behind me on these highway shoulders hard. Highway shoulders, heavy heart, 420 in my chest. One low voice on smoky loops, putting from into the test. Blues guitar and soft restart, fear pull clean apart. If my words shake when I say I'll choose me too, that's heavy heart. I don't need a painted ending or a quote to play it smart. Just a lonely stretch of asphalt and these highway shoulders hard. Merge back in with all the chaos, all the bro you good on loop. But that low and raspy chorus stay beneath these tired group. If they ask me when I stop putting my needs at the last part, I'll say one slow 20 drive on some highway heavy heart. Highway heavy heart. To the stars, smoke spill out the conversations that I cancel in my bars. Purple halo around the moon, city glitter under feet. Lo-fi hats like quiet raindrops, keep my secrets on the beat. I've been turning every breakdown into captions, into jokes. Dropping low, I'm dead inside, so nobody smell the smoke. Now it's only me and engine, just as Lambo, just as chill, just as gravel sounding caller, finally saying how he feel. Hoodie wrinkled on my chest, brim pulled low to hide my shame. Tattoos glowing, neon flashes like confession without name. Ash flow slowly through the moonroof, then dissolving navy air. Every flake of now I'm straight that I threw out like a prayer. And the sky don't send a read receipt, don't type scene and disappear. It just listens to my whispers like it's built to hold my fear. All that I don't wanna bother you, I type and never send. Climb the smoking crooked spirals to a place that won't pretend. Moonroof therapy line, 420 in my lungs. One low voice on mellow loops, turning silence into tongues. Blues guitar and soft design, guilt unhooked from spine. If my words shake when I say I'm scared, that's moonroof on the line. I don't need a licensed dancer, don't need every sign of line. Just a smoky purple night in this moonroof therapy line. In this moonroof therapy line. I remember sitting sideways on the edge of being done, scrolling contacts like roulette, land on names and choose no one. Tell myself they got their problems, you gon' sound dramatic, chill. So I swallow back the doubts, don't let the thoughts just spin and spill. Now the only number ringing is this heartbeat in my throat, saying bro you almost left us and they never got that note. Saying you survived off music and a couple late night drives. You deserve to be a burden to some people still alive. When I whisper I feel needy and I hate that part of me. Let it stumble off the snare like a step that missed the beat. If I had it's kinda ugly, I should handle this alone. That's the script that kept me dying in a crowd and on my phone. But the moon don't call it ugly, it just brighten up the glass. And the wind don't cut me off when my confessions pile fast. So I let the words come clumsy, let them echo off the roof. Let the night record my story with no edits, just the proof. Moonroof therapy line, 420 in my lungs. One low voice on mellow loops, turning silence into tongues. Blues guitar and soft design, guilt unhooked from spine. If my words shake when I say I'm scared, that's moonroof on the line. I don't need a licensed dancer, don't need every sign of line. Just a smoky purple night in this moonroof therapy line. This moonroof therapy line. Maybe help don't start with others, maybe help begin with this. With a man who stops gaslighting his own heart when something's missed. Maybe strength is leaving voice notes to yourself and pressing play, so you can't pretend tomorrow that you felt a different way. So I promise through the moonroof to the boy beneath the skin, I won't wait until you break into admit you're not okay again. We'll text somebody honest when the way starts feeling wild. I will treat you like I treat my own best friend's terrified child. If I deserve to say I'm not alright and still be loved, lands a little off the rhythm like the snare got slightly shoved. That's my sense of worth adjusting from perform or lose the crew. To existing while I'm fragile is enough for me and you. By the time the joint is filtered and the tank reads almost low, I've been driving through the moments I said cool but meant don't go. Seen the chats I left unread cause I was scared to say a need. Seen the nights I almost vanished just to not feel like I bleed. I can't rewrite all those scenes, can't say the times I lied, but I can pick up my own call when my chest rings from inside. When I murmur next time her hits, I will not decline the ring. Let it glide along the baseline like a kite on broken string. If my chest feels weirdly lighter though, the problem's still the same. That's the gravity I let flow to this moonroof with my shame. Hey. Moonroof therapy line, 420 in my lungs. Unlow voice on mellow loops, turning silence into tongues. Blues guitar and soft design, guilt unhooked from spine. If my words shake when I say I'll reach out, that's moonroof on the line. I don't need a licensed dancer, don't need every sign of line. Just a smoky purple night in this moonroof therapy line. Yeah, this moonroof therapy line. Yeah. Kill the engine, close the roof, let the cool stay out this time. But that low and raspy outline keep on ringing in my mind. If they ask me when I stop treating, I need up like a crime, I'll say on some 420 drive, calling moonroof late at night, yeah.
Yeah.
Same road, same town, but I'm not the same driver. Gaslight almost empty, little warning in the dark. Every blink a tiny mirror, and you've been running with no spark. City glimmer in the rearview like a rumor I outdrove. Purple bruises on the skyline mountain, standing like they know. I've been pushing past my limit like that needle don't exist. Telling everyone I'm solid with a jaw I can't unclench. Now it's only me and leather, just as Lambo, just as haze, just as gravel sounding conscience, trying to reroute all my ways. Hoodie sleeps past both my wrists like I'm holding on to me. me. Tattoo lines along the wheel, trace the miles I didn't see. Ash float out the half-cracked window, vanish in the violet air. Every flake of bro, I'm chill that I threw out while impaired. And that tiny amber icon feel like more than just a tank. Like a check engine for feelings, I keep driving off the plank. I can hear it asking softly in a language made of light. Why you wait until you're empty just to treat yourself as tired? Gaslight almost empty, 420 in my chest. One low voice on mellow loops, putting cope into the test. Blues guitar and quiet gentry, fear lose half its entry. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's gaslight century. I don't need a big epiphany or a sermon to repent. Just a smoky purple freeway and a gauge that won't pretend. Yeah. I remember being proud, I could run on almost fumes. Wear fatigue like diamond necklace when I stepped in crowded rooms. Calling burnout dedication, calling numbness, I'm mature. Turning, I can't feel my body into I'm built to endure. Now the tremor in my fingers, little twitch beside my eye. All the migraines I keep swallowing, all the sighs I won't let fly. I feel like messages from systems that I've ghosted for too long. Saying we've been sending signals, you just label them as wrong. When I whisper, I've been scared that if I rest, I'll lose my place. Let it stumble off the hi-hat like a car that lost its grace. If I add it sounds pathetic, I should know I'm still enough. That's the voice that learned my value from performing when it's tough. But the dash don't call me lazy when I ease up off the gas. It just glow a little softer while these heavy minutes pass. And the lane lines don't start judging when my speed falls down a bit. They just curve along beside me like it's fine, just breathe with it. Gaslight almost empty, 420 in my chest. One low voice on mellow loops, putting cope into the test. Blues guitar and quiet gentry, fear lose half its entry. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's gaslight century. I don't need a big epiphany or a sermon to repent. Just a smoky purple freeway and a gauge that won't pretend. Yeah. Maybe strength is not in running till the engine start to seize. Maybe strength is pulling over when your hands begin to freeze. Maybe I can't keep on like this, it's not a sign you failed. It's the only honest language for a life that's gone off rails. So I trace a little message on the fog, a bit of glass. From now on we fuel the driver before taking on a task. We don't wait until we're stalling on the shoulder in the rain. We can stop at smaller stations when we first start feeling drained. If I deserve a full tank, not just fumes, it's off the beat. That's my self-respect, relearning how to stand on both its feet. If a tear drops on the icon, make it shimmer while it blinks. That's my body signing contract with the mind that drives it then. By the time I hit the station, neon humming in the cold. I've been driving through my habits, watching all the lies unfold. Seen the times I wore exhaustion like a medal on my chest. Seen the nights I called it grind when I was scared to ever rest. I can't fix the years I treated res on living like it's fine, but I can choose a different tempo for the miles that still are mine. When I murmur, I will slow down when my soul first starts to ache. Let it ride along the baseline like a lane change that I take. If my shoulders feel a fraction less like armor, more like skin, that's the weight I left behind me with that gaslight blinking in. Gaslight almost empty, 420 in my chest. One low voice on mellow loops, putting cope into the test. Blues guitar and quiet gentry, fear lose half its entry. If my words shake when I say I'll rest, that's gaslight century. I don't need a big epiphany or a sermon to repent. Just a smoky purple freeway and a gauge that won't pretend. Fill it up, click the nozzle, let the cold night kiss the chrome. But that low and raspy promise, ride along with me back home. If they ask me when I learned I can't live on almost plenty, I'll say Wiz late 20 train. But that gaslight almost empty. Yeah. But that gaslight almost empty.
Yeah. Turn off the main road. This part ain't for everybody.
Backstreet where I tell the truth. No one else's lights around. Every house a quiet witness. Every door the only sound. Purple haze above the wires. City hum a distant chord. slow for drums and low progression. Hold the things I can't afford. I've been spilling out my story in a filtered, tidy way, cropping out the empty moments so my pain look clean on play. Now it's only me and asphalt, only smoking crack up stone. Just this gravel sounding poet saying things I say alone. Hoodie zipped up to my chin, brim pulled low to hide my eyes. Tattoo ink along the wheel, frame the parts are still disguised. Asphalt saw beside the handle like old secrets at my feet. Every flecker is whatever that was really raw defeat. And this little side street know me in a way the main don't care. It didn't see me park here shaking, knuckles white and short of air. Like a diary on a map that only opens after 2, where the password is just say it how it really sounds in you. Backstreet where I tell the truth, 420 in my lawn, one low voice on smoky loops, turning clenching into tones. Blues guitar and honest youth, fear uncrosses tooth. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's backstreet truth. I don't need a crowd to clap it, don't need proof in any booth, just a dead end little corner and permission to be true. Yeah. I remember all the versions I rehearsed before a call. Changed the words, I'm feeling broken into I've been kinda off turn. I think I need some help to now I'm good was just a thought swapped out. I don't wanna wake up, I barely ever sleep a lot. Now the only script I'm holding is this verse against the wheel. Every bar a rough draft sentence I ain't dare to make real. Like I hate the way I hustle just to earn a place to stay. I'm afraid that when they see me they gon' slowly back away. When I whisper I feel jealous of the ones who call for care. Let it stumble off the highlight like a footstep on the stair. If I had a rush that's corny, I should man up, thanks I'm fine. That's the echo of a culture that made jokes out of my mind. But the bricks along this alley don't repeat that tired bit. They just hold the smoky phrases, let the truth sit where it sit. No one here to roll their eyes, no one here to change the tone. Just my chest and this old engine sharing space like flesh and bone. Backstreet where I tell the truth, 420 in my lungs, one low voice on smoky loops, turning clenching into tongues. Blues guitar and honest youth, fear uncrosses tooth. If my words shake when I say I'm not okay, that's backstreet truth. I don't need a crowd to clap, don't need proof in any booth, just a dead end little corner and permission to be truth. Maybe raw don't mean you broken, maybe tears ain't just for loss. Maybe I don't got it right now was a line you're allowed to toss. Maybe soft is not a downgrade from the iron mask you wore. Maybe soft is just you choosing not to bleed out anymore. So I tell myself the phrases I reserve for those I love. You make sense for feeling heavy, what you went through was enough. I ain't here to fix your damage, I'm just here to see it clear. Then I switch the name to mine and let those same words land right here. If I'm worthy while I'm messy, lands off feet against the kick. That's my rhythm, changing tempo from survival into thick. If a tear slides down the window, drag the street light into smear. That's the line between performance and a life I hold sincere. By the time the joint is filtered and the engine's barely warm, I've been driving around my story like a quiet thunderstorm. Heard the thunder of resentments I pretend I don't still hold. Heard the rain of disappointments that I never said I'll bold. I can't promise I'll be candid every time the sun is up, but I know there's one small sorrow where I drink from my own cup. When I murmur I'll come back here when I start to play a role. Let it hum along the baseline like a vow carved in the soul. If my chest feel looser somehow while the city wakes again, that's the weight I left right here on this back street in this lane. Back street where I tell the truth, 420 in my lungs, one low voice on smoky loops, turning clenching into tongues. Blues guitar and honest youth, fear uncrosses tooth. If my words shake when I say I'll choose me too, that's backstreet truth. I don't need a crowd to clap, don't need proof in any booth, just a dead end little corner and permission to be true. Yeah. Ease it out onto the main road with my mask half on my face, but that low and hoarse confession stay in gear beneath the chase. If they ask me when bought 20 in line. Got a backstreet deal for true.
Yeah. Whole lane just for me and my brain tonight. Overthinking in the whole line, riding solo after 2. Empty seats, but in my head it's like a crowded interview. Purple streaks across the windshield, city flicker in the back. Lo-fi drums and slow progression keep my chest from losing track. I've been playing group therapist in a chat that never ends. Type you got this, I believe you, while I'm breaking for my friends. Now it's only me and leather, just this joint and dashboard glow. Just this gravel sounding conscience saying what I never show. Hoodie hood around my jawline, brim pull low to dim the shame. Tattoo fingers on the wheel, trace excuses I still claim. Ash drift out to crack the window, disappear in violet air. Every flake of nah, I'm good, tossed instead of yo, I'm scared. And this fast lane feel ironic when my soul can barely move. Every sign about keep speed up while I'm trying just to prove I can slow down without crashing, I can breathe without a script. I can say I'm not the strong one without feeling like I slip. Overthinking in the A-lane, 420 in my chest. One low voice on smoky loops, putting front end to the test. Blues guitar in quiet rain, fear fall off the chain if my words shake. When I say I'm not okay, that's in this lane. I don't need a co-pilot or some passenger to blame. Just a midnight stretch of freeway for my overthinking lane. I remember every season I was hit me if you're stuck. Turn my evenings into hotline, call my burnout just bad luck. Never asked for any check, never said I'm on the edge. Just kept stacking other stories till I vanished from the ledge. Now the echoes of you saved me ring like deaths inside my head. All the bro, you really fixed it on the nights I almost bled. I can feel resentment flicker with the guilt inside my lungs. Like I chose to play the hero, then got mad at weighed a ton. When I whisper, I feel angry that I never said not now. Let it stumble off the hi-hat like a wheel that lost its vow. If I had a shaky chuckle, guess I'm late to set that bound. That's the part of me that learned my knees should never make a sound. But the lane lines don't resent me when I drift a slower pace. And the dash don't flash reminders saying smile and know your place. It just sit there like it's valid that you tired of the road. You're allowed to be the driver, not just Uber for their souls. Hey. Overthinking in the whole lane, 420 in my chest. One low voice on smoky loops, putting front man to the test. Blues guitar in quiet rain, fear fall off the chain if my words shake. When I say I'm not okay, that's in this lane. I don't need a co-pilot or some passenger to blame. Just a midnight stretch of freeway for my overthinking lane. Maybe love ain't being rented like a ride share on demand. Maybe love is when you answer only if you also can. Maybe no, I can't tonight, don't break the bond or kill the trust. Maybe yes, without a heartbeat is just self-betrayal dust. So I draft some new directions on the fog inside the glass. From now on we check the gas tank before we promise we can pass. We don't floor it for approval when the motor's hearing screams. We're allowed to miss an exit if it keeps us in one piece. If I deserve to be considered when I choose who I support. Lands a little off the rhythm like a bar that came up short. That's my value recalibrating from I'm useful into I'm here from I'm needed so I matter into I still count alone, my dear. By the time the road is tiny and the city grows ahead, I've been driving through my patterns like a map inside my head. Seen the nights I took on crisis, I had no strength left to hold. Seen the morning mornings I was empty while they joked that I was cold. I can't change the older chapters where I ghosted my own call, but I can't rewrite tomorrow so I don't repeat it all. When I murmur, I'll pick me up when my legs can't stand their weight. Let it slide along the baseline like a lane changing to fade. If my chest feel weirdly lighter while the traffic starts again, that's some weight I left behind me in this overthinking lane. Overthinking in the lane, 420 in my chest, one low voice on smoky loops, putting from end to the test. Blues guitar in quiet rain, fear fall off the chain if my words shake. When I say I'll choose me too, that's in this lane. I don't need a co-pilot or some passenger to blame, just a midnight stretch of freeway for my overthinking lane. Signal off, join normal traffic with their schedules and the rush, but that low and raspy mantra keep on humming under hush. If they ask me when I pause, be an Uber for their pain, I'll say once more 40-20 drive in the overthinking lane.